Hey guys, welcome to another great episode of the Anime Sidebar. I'm your host VX Kingpin XV, and today we're going to jump right into it. Today's sidebar is something that's been bothering me in the anime culture. Some of you might agree with me, some of you might not give a rat's ass, some of you might not give a damn. But guess what? I do. And in this video, I want to be talking about where the black anime characters are at in the anime culture. And I'm talking about your Mr. Popos, your Afro Samurai, I'm talking about your Blade, I'm talking about your Black Panther. And when I say anime, I'm talking about animation. Not Japanese anime, not American anime, not American cartoons. I mean anime, period. Animation, period. Japanese animators have coined the phrase Japanese anime, but I'm speaking clearly in animation and how cartoonists perceive us as a culture when they put us in their cartoons. And there's a few that I like. I like, I like your young. I like Justice League. I think his name is his name Hal? I don't know his name, but he seems like a stand-up black guy. He doesn't have an afro. Green Lantern, he doesn't have an afro. He doesn't have these outrageous lips, and he just don't talk. Yo, man, what you talking about, fool? He was in the army, or he was some type of Marine captain, whatever the case may be, and then he got turned into the Green Lantern. Whatever, is it John? Is John Hal? I don't know. I can't remember his name. I don't even care. I like Aqualad. I don't think they overdid him by any way. But then you got my favorite cartoon at this point in time, Naruto. And, you got your, I guess they're black or semi-black, but you got the cornrows, you got your yo-yo-yo raps from the Killer Bee. As much as I like Killer Bee, it's irritating, And when Japanese animators draw us or write us in, they normally have a tendency of overdoing us. And, I know they don't have too many black people in Japan. Very few. One of my friends is one of them. It's fucking irritating. Yes, irritating. It's like this is how they perceive us, and then this is what they show the world. And they Japanese animators, and I'm talking about Japanese animators, they don't draw themselves on a usual basis. Most of their animations come from how they think, no offense to anybody, how white people will perceive it. So most of their best characters, the most times they spend into something, sometimes usually have what they call white characteristics. And when I say characteristics, I'm talking about how a person looks. You tell a black person is a black person from the color of their tone of their skin, the color of their hair, that kind of thing. And they normally use characters who favor white people. I don't have nothing against white people. I have nothing against white cartoons. Nothing. I love them. I love Superman. My dog. My road dog. But what bothers me is when Japanese animators make these godlike characters and base them off white people. And I'm talking about characters like Naruto, characters like, fucking Dragon Ball Z. His hair turns blonde and green eyes. That doesn't remind me of an Asian person. When I see most of these Japanese cartoons, I don't think, wow, man, I'm really digging Asian chicks now. Maybe this cartoon has really got me into Asian chicks. No, it's just like, man, that's a fine-ass white girl with fine-ass white girl features. Japanese people don't really portray themselves, or Japanese animators don't portray themselves in these cartoons. I'm not really sure why. I really have no idea. And they don't do a good job at it. And it's kind of irritating. And when it bothers me when they try to show us as a people, like, I don't remember if you remember the guy from Bleach. He was one of the Ironicars, but he had like the major afro, and he had these big lips. He went against, I want to say he went against Chad in one of the battles, and that character really fucked with my head. I really hated that character, and I felt like you guys couldn't do better than this bullshit here. You couldn't do better than this shit right here. My dudes, that's not cool. And sometimes we get portrayed right. Sometimes they portray us well. without being hip hop's finest, and you know, with the rap music in the background and all that crap. Sometimes I just want a normal, regular black character. We're not all from the streets. I know I'm not. Wasn't raised in the hood. I was raised in a white suburban neighborhood. Sometimes that's all you want to see. You don't want to see the thug who turns into a good guy. Like, I like the Spawn character. If anybody ever watched Spawn on HBO back in the day, you know, where he just had a black wife, but they wasn't speaking ghetto. He was working for the military, got caught up in some crap, died, ended up going to hell, coming back. That was a good cartoon, regardless whether they were black or whatever the case may be. It just irritates me how the Japanese or how animators sometimes can perceive it. It's like in Dragon Ball Z, that Mr. Popo stuff. Why they turn him blue? Well, because that could be taken out of context. You know, just black as soot with red lips. That's a problem. You know, I love, and I'm talking about, I worship Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT like it was my life depended on it. And I can understand why they would take that crap, make him blue. Do everybody like it? Did everybody, oh, what's the big deal? Well, yeah, you know, as you get older, you'll understand how the world really works and not what you think are on cartoons. These are just my personal thoughts, my personal opinions, and you can take it how you want it. I just think at the end of the day, you know, you guys let me know how you feel. That sometimes animators don't portray black people well in these cartoons. And sometimes they don't even portray themselves well. You know, there's nothing wrong with being Asian. There's nothing wrong with being an Asian superhero. You don't have to base your characters off white people all the time just to sell it. First of all, the only people who really watch your stuff is other Asians. And obviously, Asians don't have nothing wrong with it. But if you watch enough of these cartoons, they're based off, you know, what they feel like the Western world would want. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it. I mean, not every cartoon is like that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously, some of them are Asian-based cartoons. But every cartoon has characters that are based off how they perceive white people, how they perceive black people. And they normally don't have themselves with chinky eyes and this, that, and the other. Like, you can't tell that that's, you know, if another culture saw the cartoon, they wouldn't be like, oh, this is Japanese anime. No, somebody would have to say, this is a Japanese anime cartoon and this is the style of drawing. You just wouldn't assume they were Asian animators. Now, if you disagree with me, be man enough, step up, explain your shit here, and I'm gonna write you back and I'll let you know how I feel. You know, I know I'm rambling, I don't want to ramble. I know I'm ranting, but it bothers me. And every time I see these cartoons, you know, I mean, that's just one of them. I have another topic I want to discuss, and, you know, that's going to be leaning towards the women to see how they feel about it. But definitely this is for, you know, what we think of how animators draw black cartoons, white cartoons, this, that, and the other. You guys tell me, how do you guys feel about it? Now, my other favorite black cartoon right now, that was done by a black guy, Aaron McGregor, from the Boondocks, that's my shit. I have nothing wrong with that. But he looked at the culture from a different standpoint, and only a standpoint that a black person could understand, and he walked that fine line. But if you're white, if you're Japanese, if you're some other race, Mexican, I don't care, whatever it is, there's no way you can portray black people in your cartoon without getting it wrong. And Japanese people normally get it wrong. White cartoons used to normally get it wrong, but lately, over the past years, they've gotten it right. You know, with your heroes who are not always just white. You know, with your Spawns, with your Blade, with your, you know, how they portray us. It's not as bad as it used to be. I mean, it's gotten a lot better. So keep them coming, white animators. But you Japanese motherfuckers, you guys got to get that shit right. But do your thing below. Rate, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you stopping by. Don't be hating the video. Holla at your boy, VX Kingpin XV.